we're big fans of upgraded resources and metal coins, but today we're going to be upgrading on Meeples.
So let's get sticking. So Julian's recently fallen in love with Root, and we've started playing it on the app to learn it at our board game group, also sort of helping us teach it, and also we've managed to get hold of a copy ourselves.
Now, I love the artwork in Root, and I think this looks fantastic. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but this really is my cup of tea. But the big problem I have with Root is the Meeples. Now, the screen printed Meeples look great, but they're not in keeping with the rest of the art. So I wanted to find a way of kind of bridging that gap. So while looking on Etsy, I found a fantastic company called Levity Games, who do this, basically stickers that you can then stick on your Meeples. Now obviously they're not the only company to do this. We've seen quite a lot of them, like Yado.
Oh, I mean they're printed like from the start, screen printed. And yeah, they look great. They add a lot, I think, from sort of the original version of that game to the deluxe master set, where you can see it's definitely the geisha or a samurai or a worksmith or things like that. Yeah, I think they look fantastic.
So what I've got is obviously for Root, and it's just I bought, although we've only got the base game, I bought basically every faction.
Just knowing that
you were
going to buy every
at one
expansion.
point we're going to want the expansions, and I wanted to have it consistent. I didn't want to kind of go down this route and then have Root.
Go down that route.
Oh, couldn't plan that. And I didn't want to go down that route with Root, and then get expansions that weren't in keeping with it. So I got all of them. They offered, and while discussing with them, really friendly people on Etsy. Well, discussing with Levity Games, I said, you really enjoyed Dune. And they said, well, they're throwing...
They were very kind.
They're throwing the stickers for Dune as well.
For Dune, with the expansion as well. So I'm really excited about this one.
So why did you want the stickers particularly for Dune?
The thing is, Dune has got its upgraded kit that's come out quite recently. Over here in the UK, I think it's around about £50. Now, there are other games that I have on my wish list that... many games on my wish list, which I can get one of for £50. So at the moment, the priority to upgrade Dune Imperium isn't so high. I would rather get something new, but I do like the idea of having it look prettier because we love the immersion of the games, the theme of the game. So having the pieces look a bit prettier does mean that we love the games a bit more.
It does feel a bit of a disconnect with Dune Imperium because the tokens, because it hasn't got minis, just feels a bit not as plush as it could do, not as swanky as it could do. So hopefully this is going to be a kind of bridging between basic wooden Meeples and fancy.
Yeah, it's like
upgrade.
a budget version of making it look prettier without, and then you can still justify buying a new game at some point in the near future.
Yes. So hopefully these are going to be easy to apply.
We'll find out.
Let's give it a go, shall we?
Yeah, let's get sticking.
You might have noticed we have a load of pots for Dune Imperium because it doesn't have an insert.
Yeah.
So we've been using pots because it's a good way of, there's a lot of bits for Dune Imperium. I'm going to start by sticking on the cats.
I mean, that seems the logical place to start. Why wouldn't you start with the cat?
Well, my favourite faction at the moment is the Woodland Alliance, which is taking me a bit of time to learn. But there's less of those, and I think there's a lot of cats. So if I muck up the first one...
This is your logic?
Yeah.
Space to mess it up.
We're going to start with a vagabond, because if that went terribly, that's going to be the only vagabond.
Okay.
So if one cat, if I start badly, then because I'm going to get better as I go on. That's my logic here. Well, you're starting with small things.
I've also started with something that we don't use that often, which is the red colour. We obviously had similar logic, so I'm just going to work through the play colours, and I'm starting with red, and I'll work my way to the blue and green that we often play with.
Okay. I thought they'd be stickers, but they're not. They're vinyl. So they feel really nice, yeah. Okay.
I'm still trying to get mine off the sheet.
I'm going for it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh. There we go. Easy. Just got to do that another 50 times.
Is that centered enough?
Yeah.
And he's got a back as well, which I enjoy that they all have front and back on them. I had to adjust this one a little bit, and they do peel off and reposition quite easily. But I have the front here and the back here. So he's looking all right.
Yeah,
I'm pleased with that.
It looks much better than without it.
Yeah, for sure.
I've done one cat. Again, these are front and back.
They look evil, those cats, don't they?
So yeah,
Nasty little critters.
I'm pleased with that.
They're ready for a woodland fight.
Right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Get going.
Let's keep going. It's another Marquista cat. Done.
Got quite a few going on there.
Yeah. What I noticed is they're kind of a mirror image of each other. So now it's really stressing that I haven't put the right one on the right side. But I kind of got the hang of peeling them off and lining up at the bottom and putting it on. They don't bubble or anything. I thought they might be.
No, mine
Tricky to
haven't either.
And
They've been good. And they are actually quite easy to reposition. I've found that the little men in here are a bit trickier than the dreadnoughts, which I found quite easy, purely because the shape of this isn't exact to the shape of the sticker. The sticker's a little bit smaller on these ones, whereas on the dreadnoughts it literally fits the edging of it. And so I just want to make sure that the head, the feet are all central and in line. And so these ones that I've a couple of them I've repositioned once or twice, and that's been fine to just lift up and tweak, and then I give it a little push down and it's there. And this one I didn't have to, so that was good.
I mean, I think to the untrained eye, somebody who hadn't played Root before, they wouldn't realise these weren't. Obviously, these are unofficial. I don't think people would necessarily realise that this wasn't what was meant to be on the game. They're really well designed. I'm really impressed with them.
Yeah, they do really work with the rest of the artwork. I think.
But what's your favourite resources, realistic resources we have, or favourite upgrade we have for a game?
We have a few different resources and things, don't we? I think the one that gives me joy is we have actual real compasses for Lost Ruins of Arnak. And you put them down and they actually whoop to north.
I don't know how accurate they are.
They always point the right way.
In a vague direction.
Unless they're too close together and then they affect each other.
That does cause chaos. I wouldn't use it to go orienteering.
Would you not? I think that's what they're meant for.
Really?
For to give to little Boy Scouts.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought they were.
Yeah, because you get some that are on key rings and stuff as well, don't you?
Okay.
So yeah,
I
really enjoy those.
Yeah,
they're good.
People, and we've got the coins as well, and people want to play our copy of Arnak. I think it's because of the first player token that we have. We've got a miniature clock to replace the first.
Did you say third player token?
First player token. Or be third place if I'm playing against you and someone else. I like Scythe. We've got the realistic resources for Scythe, and that makes a big difference to the game.
Yeah. I thought your favourite resource was when we play Wingspan with mini eggs.
Yeah, when you realise you've munched a plastic egg rather than a chocolate egg, it ends in tears.
Or a trip to the dentist.
Yes. I'm going to plough on with my cats.
Oh, you haven't finished your cats yet?
No. I've attempted to move. You've been kind of moving between each one, doing all the men.
Well, I'm doing all my dreadnoughts and all my little men. And then I might move to spice in a minute. I'm
sticking to the cats because I'm just concerned about this mirror imaging that I might get that wrong. So
if I was doing just cats, I would.
I'm in my stride now, but they fit so well on here. I'm really pleased with these. I think they're really good.
Yes, very good. So why did you think stickers over? We have a friend who is 3D printing some things, and so he's printed a load of things for Root that he's found. So he's got instead of the little disky things that you get, the little fists for the Woodland Alliance. He's got like little 3D printed bits and pieces. He's got roosts for the Eyrie and things like that. So why did you think this over that?
Partly because I know how long it takes him to print things. And the miniatures I've seen for Root that you can get from whichever, the ones I've seen on Etsy at least, I don't feel look like Root.
Okay.
They're great miniatures, but the ones I've seen would look more homey like Everdale.
Right.
Because they're just squirrels and foxes and stuff.
They didn't look fighty enough.
No, and the other ones just look like they should be in Gloomhaven. They're like fantasy animals, and I think, I really like his printed fists, and I think they need to be painted because his are all grey.
Yeah, well, that was an issue I think when we played. Like, it was great having all these things, but at that point he hadn't painted anything. He's only just finished printing them, to be fair. But then, if you don't know the game very well, like with lots of grey pieces, you can't. It's harder to work out.
Some look very similar. I mean,
what belongs to who? Yeah.
Even for the Marquis de Cat, what was a sawmill compared to what was a recruiter was kind of hard to tell, and I placed him down. So
well, especially as a beginner, and you're not, you're not used to it.
But no, I as I said, I really like the art style. So it seems in keeping with the game and within the style, which I thought was important. And and that's, I don't think you got that in miniatures.
Just you to go, Julian.
They're the blue ones.
These are the blue ones.
Down to my last cat, I just had a big panic because there's 2 cats left on the sticker sheet, and I was like, "Oh, I've lost a cat."
You had to
I've had this game like 2 weeks, and I've lost a cat. But no, there's 25 Marquis de Cats. So this is my last.
So you have a spare sticker in case you had ruined your cat.
In case I had a catastrophe.
Oh my gosh. So the fact that you started with a cat in case you messed it up, you had a spare.
I had a spare
anyway.
cat. I wondered if there'd be a spare for all of them. There's probably not a spare vagabond.
There isn't spare in the Dune ones. Okay. I have put all of the Meeples and the Dreadnoughts on the different colours, and now I'm moving on to the water.
Okay. What should I do next? After this, should I move on to the Eyrie, or should I move on to the Woodland Alliance?
If you do the Vagabond, you would have done two factions.
Two factions. Yes. I'm kind of.
Are you still scared for the Vagabond? Do you need to do him last?
I'm going to save him till last because obviously that's going to be a focus on him just being that one. He doesn't get lost in the melee.
So you're not going to be fed up by then. You're
just
going
chuck it on.
But you're going to be a pro by then.
I'm going to be
saying.
The sticker king.
Right. Okay.
But I think I'm going to do Eyrie next. I think because Eyrie
makes sense.
They're not symmetrical. The Meeples, whereas the cats are, and the Woodland Alliance is, which is added to my stress of these mirror image stuff.
Right.
Obviously, with the Eyrie, it's going to be obvious which side.
Yeah. So you're just going to take a break and take.
I'm going to go for the easy,
the
easy route. Yeah.
An easy
route.
You're full of these puns tonight, aren't you?
Fantastic. Tell you a game that does look good with the realistic resources.
Yeah.
TO2 Recon got you for your birthday.
You did, yes. They are really good. They came from Board Game Extras.
Board Game Extras,
yeah.
And I knew about them because I was getting them for bits for print and play games.
Oh, okay, yes, because Julian loves the print and play.
I do. I did it in batch. Although we haven't played, we haven't got through all of them because I got I think 10 or something.
You did.
It worked out much cheaper to involve. Yeah. But I found out about Board Game Extras from that, and they do like sets for specific games. So rather than having to buy a bag full of
You'd already been threatening to get chocolate covered coffee beans so that you could sort of
munch
eat and
through
play
those
at the same time.
And they got quite a lot on there for very specific games. I mean, for Tier 2 Recon, I got you those promo tiles as well.
You
that
did,
came from
yeah,
the
got
same shop.
extras, yeah.
So they're really good. But I mean, there's places out there you can go to upgrade a favourite game, and I think it's something we do. Obviously, we could just buy another game, like you were saying, but I think certain games we play a lot, I like to make look nicer. I like to spruce them up a little bit, because it adds to the enjoyment, I think.
Definitely, and I think it makes you want to get them off the shelf more. So then, if they are some of your favourites, they're getting played even more. Then it is worth it.
You see people who paint their miniatures as well, and it's just.
Oh, I'd love to. I mean, it's a
hell of a
skill all in itself, isn't it? But it would be.
I've seen that the painted but Rebellion looks amazing, and and they're tiny. I don't know how people can paint those. And I saw the people painting tiny epic dungeons. They're miniature. I don't know how people either have the patience or the skill to do it. So it's quite an art.
I'm sure there's some sort of magnifying eye equipment involved. That was a little bit tricky to line up, but off and on, and a little tweak to the side and things, and they are. I'm really impressed with. It's not just a one chance and you've messed it up. You can really tweak them quite a few times before you push it down, and also the fact that there's no bobbling, so it's not like when you change your phone cover, for example, that protective screen. I just seem to always have bubbles come up, and I'm trying to push them out with a card or whatever. And I've not had any of the stickers so far doing any kind of bubbling or anything. So, that's good.
This one just looks so different. Really, the area without the sticker on just looks a bit unfinished now. It looks a bit prototype.
You're never going to want to play anyone else's copy that doesn't have the stickered people.
Oh, which one's which? I can't tell. I did have a slight panic. I put the other birds, and there's another bird faction. Our friends played with it, but we don't know that one. I was worried I put the wrong birds on there, but it's all fine. I've got the right, very regal looking Eerie Dynasty.
Yeah, they look.
The cats are fun.
They are annoyed with, they look annoyed.
The cats are thoroughly evil. The Eerie are just more disgruntled.
Yes. They want to get back into their home.
They do. Right. That is the last Eerie.
Oh,
we're Eeried out. Not ready for the Vagabond. Yeah.
No?
You're going
to go to the mice.
I'm going to go straight on to mice.
The Woodland
Alliance.
Right, that is all of the water done. So now let's see what's in this type. Moving on to spice.
Ooh. The spice will flow.
It will indeed. And I believe that there are tokens for both the 5s and the 1s. So, they're all here.
It's weird, without them on, but once you put the stickers on, you realise how much it kind of adds to it. I mean, the water looks great with those on.
Yeah, it does. I'm hoping that these ones should be quite easy because the hex shape means you can line up quite easily. Fingers crossed.
Alright, can't avoid it any longer. I'm going to do the Vagabond.
You're going for it.
Yeah.
The pressure piece.
Yeah. Because I'm getting. I don't want to do it last because then it'll, I'll be sticker blind by then. So let's do the Vagabond. Don't sigh, make it more pressure. I don't want to overthink this.
You can adjust them.
You can.
You can adjust them.
There we go. One more.
I was going to say, there we go. It doesn't go if he's not got a back. It's going to have a back and a front. Which is quite nice, actually. I enjoy that we're not just putting them on the front. There are reverse sides. They are printed so you can tell what's front, what's back.
There we go.
That is good. So from
One
all angles,
vagabond.
he looks
He's
vaga-like.
He's
No, that's not a thing.
vagatastic.
Vagtastic.
What have you got left? You've got...
I've still got some spice to do and some coins, so maybe we'll get back to you with some shots of all the finished pieces. Once we're done.
I think we'll finish this off and then a montage will be
a montage.
A montage of you in order. What a glorious montage of pictures that was. I must confess, sticking these on took longer than I thought, but it's quite a fun...
Oh, ages.
Yeah, I think it's been close to 2 hours to do these two games now. It's quite fun and therapeutic in a way. It's quite a nice process.
Yeah, no, it wasn't taxing, and as we said earlier, you know, even if you did stick them on a little bit wrong, it was easy to correct that, so it wasn't stressful in any way.
Which was your favourite one?
I'm actually really quite enjoying the Mentat. He fits in so nicely, like you can line up with his chin to make sure the sticker sticks on properly. I think it looks quite cool.
The cubes for Dune Imperium were a bit of a nightmare. They were incredibly fiddly because they were tiny little cubes, so trying to get those to line up was tricky. Yeah, I think.
Who's your favourite? I'm there.
I think they all look good, and they kind of express the character of them really. The cats look evil, the mice are very very cute. I'm inclined to say the Woodland Alliance because
that's just because you're enjoying playing
I enjoy
them so
playing
much
those,
at the moment.
but the Vagabond looks awesome.
He does. I think he might be my favourite.
And I've been looking at some of the other ones. I think the moles are really good, and some of the alternative Vagabonds as well look great.
The owl looks great.
The owl looks great.
Yeah, and the badgers.
And the badger.
Yeah,
so,
the badgers.
Even more incentive to buy the others. But again, these were provided by Levity Games. Well, at least the Dune Imperiums were given to us by Levity Games, so incredibly generous.
The root set.
And I'd heartily recommend them.
Yes.
I think.
Thank you very much, Levity Games.
There's they've been easy to apply. It's not a case of peeling the stickers off and they tear. No bubbling.
No, I haven't had any tearing in my set, so I'm very pleased with that.
I really can't fault them. I think the art is in keeping with it in both the games, easy to apply, and the end result looks so good.
And we now both need to play these games.
We each need to play the games. If you want to buy your own set of these stickers, there's a link in the description to Levity's Etsy site. And
if you have other ideas of game upgrades,
send
them our way.
Clearly, we're happy to pimp out our games. And maybe there's a game that you particularly like adding stuff to. Put a comment in there. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like.
And maybe consider subscribing to our channel. We would be very grateful if you would do that. But for now, I think we're off.
That's it. I'm going to rest these sticker-filled hands.
Bye.